An explanation of luster in minerals. This video will talk about all of the different lusters. What is luster? Luster is the description of how light reflects off of a mineral. Different types of molecular bonding can impact what kind of luster a mineral will have, as well as the mineral's composition. There are many types of luster: metallic, submetallic, vitreous, dull, greasy, silky, pearly, resinous, waxy, and adamantine. Some minerals can have multiple lusters if they exhibit different lusters in different places, or if they fall between two different lusters. Individual specimens may also have different lusters, which means that luster is not a definitive diagnostic criteria, but it can help narrow down possibilities if you're trying to identify a mineral. Let's start with metallic lusters. Lusters are first divided by metallic or nonmetallic, with nonmetallic including all of the others. A metallic luster means that light reflects off a mineral in a way that makes it appear shiny, but does not take in any light. A mineral with this luster is not necessarily a metal, although it's common in metals. Here are some examples of minerals with a metallic luster. We've got galena, gold, and copper. And now we move on to submetallic. Submetallic is very similar to metallic, except minerals with this luster fall slightly short of being truly metallic. Other lusters also have subvariants where they don't quite fall under that luster, but we're just going to do submetallic for an example. We're not going to cover all of them. These are some examples of submetallic lusters in minerals. We've got covellite, sphalerite, and cinnabar. For our first non-metallic luster, we're going to start with vitreous, also known as glassy. Around 70% of all minerals possess a vitreous or glassy luster. This means that they have a level of transparency that allows light to pass through, making the mineral appear similar to a piece of glass. Some examples include petroleum quartz, tourmaline, and fluorite. Moving on to dull, also known as earthy. Also, a quick disclaimer, earthy is slightly different from dull, it's a bit rougher. However, they are often synonymous. Dull or earthy can be used to describe a mineral that does not reflect light or allow it to pass through. These minerals often appear rough or possibly chalky, without clean faces to reflect light. Here's some examples. We've got chrysocolla, limonite, and polychrome jasper. And now, greasy. A mineral with a greasy luster will reflect light as if there's a thin sheen of oil coating the surface of the mineral. Here's some examples: Ethiopian opal, serpentine, and sulfur. Moving on to silky. A silky luster is usually associated with the reflection of a fibrous mineral, where the fibers give a soft, silky appearance. Some examples of this include malachite, chrysotile asbestos, and tiger's eye. Now for pearly. Many minerals with a pearly luster are somewhat chatoyant, which gives them a pearlescent reflection that shifts as you move the mineral. Here's some examples. We've got charoite, seraphinite, and talc. And now resinous. This type of luster is exactly what it sounds like. Minerals with a resinous luster tend to resemble amber, which is not a true mineral, but is the prime example of a resinous luster. These minerals are often orange or golden like amber as well. Here's some examples of a resinous luster. We've got amber, spessartine garnet, and sphalerite. And yes, that is a bug. Her name is Linda. Next up is waxy. A waxy luster can be used to describe minerals that look like wax. Some can be polished to appear resinous. Some examples include jade, turquoise, and carnelian. And lastly, adamantine. Considered to be the highest luster, adamantine is used to describe somewhat transparent minerals with a high refractive index. This means that light is dispersed and refracted through the mineral, which is what gives the sparkling effect in diamonds known as fire. Some examples of an adamantine luster include moissanite, zircon, and titanite, although this titanite might actually be subadamantine, but it's just in here. And now for some extras. Here's an example of a mineral with multiple lusters. We've got rutile with a submetallic and a silky luster. Here's an example of two specimens of the same mineral that exhibit different lusters. So we've got the sphalerite on the left with a submetallic luster, and one on the right with a resinous luster. Here's an example of the same mineral having different lusters depending on the composition and/or bonding. So we've got a demantoid garnet, which is a eugrandite, which has calcium, and that's got an adamantine luster, and then a spessartine garnet, which is a pyrrolspite, which has aluminum, and that has a vitreous to resinous luster. And here's a fun little bonus fact. The word demantoid means diamond-like, which is an allusion to its adamantine luster. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video.